Hello everyone and welcome to a week 2 MyStatsLab homework problem number 10 example. So this is the example that goes along with your problem number 10 in MyStatsLab for week 2. And for many of you this is probably your first one, so let's take a look at it, work our way through it fairly slowly so that you have an understanding of how this works. So our problem 10 example gives us a chart here which has 120 movies, their ratings, and also the genre. So they are broken down into ratings for 4 different genres: action, comedy, drama, and thrillers. And of course you see here at the bottom our grand total of 120 is exactly what we were talking about. So we have these broken down for each rating of each genre. We're going to do a little bit of work with that. So part A asks us to find the conditional distribution in percentages of movie ratings for action adventure films. Action adventure is our first line across the top. There were a total of 37 films in this category, broken down between the 4 ratings. So to find the conditional distribution, we're going to calculate the percentage by taking the number of films of each rating for this genre and divide it by the total number of films in this genre. And I'm going to use this table that I have already made here, and we're going to let Excel do all the work for us. So the first thing I'm going to do, since this asks us for percentages, is to highlight the cells in my table that I'm going to create, and let's go ahead and format it to put it in percentage values for us. So I can go to Format Cells, then you can see where I've already been working on this. I'm going to click on Percentage, and then we're going to use 1 decimal place, and by clicking OK, now every cell here that I have highlighted will actually be put into percentage form. So I'm going to let Excel do a lot of work here. We're going to do some copy and pasting to get these percentages to make it as easy as possible. So let's go to the first cell, and we're going to calculate the percentage of action adventure films that were G rated. So we're going to use our 8 and 37. So to start a formula in Excel, we always start with equals, then I'm going to highlight the 8, then use my division key. And now I want to use the 37, but I also want it to stay 37 when I go over to PG, PG-13, and R. So as the top number moves from 8 over to 13 to 12 and to 4, I still want my denominator to be 37. So in order to do that, I need to tell Excel that I don't want to change that bottom number. So for that, we can use our dollar symbol, which I'm sure most of you already know, to make sure that cell stays with the 37. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and click on the 37. So it puts our F7 there, and I'm going to go into my cell, and I'm going to put a dollar sign before the F and a dollar sign before the 7. So now we have our formula in there. We can click on enter, and there we have it. So 21.6% of the action adventure films are G rated. Now we also need to do the other 3, but I can do it very easily now since I've set my formula up correctly. So I'm going to go back and click on the G20 cell. I'm going to go up to the top and click on copy, and now I'm going to click on PG and drag it over to R and click paste, and there we have it. It has done all the work for us. So now we have all of the action adventure films put into percentages depending on their rating. So that's all of part A. Part B asks us to do it for the thriller and horror films. So we're basically going to do the same thing. We'll go down here to this one, equals, and this is a 0, but we'll go ahead and go through it. Divided by a total of 29 films in that genre. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put my $signs in here so that when I copy and paste, it will stay at 29. And now I can just go ahead and copy, click here, drag it across, and paste. There we have it. That's part B. Part C asks us to create a graph comparing the ratings of the 4 genres. So now we need to go ahead and finish the other 2. So we can do that. We'll go to comedy, click on that cell, equals, click on my 6, divided by, and this group had 22, put in my $signs, enter. Now I can copy and paste again, click on copy, move across, paste those, and we'll do it one more time. For drama, equals 0 there, divided by, and we have 32 for this genre, so we'll click on 32, put in my $signs, click enter again, copy and paste one more time. Copy and paste, and there we have it. Our chart is done. It's in percentages. The conditional distribution in percentages is done. Minimal amount of work by using Excel, letting it do it for us. And also, while I'm thinking about it, if you click on a cell here, and I clicked on the 21.6, if you look up at the top in your formula bar, you'll see the formula right there. You can also change the whole chart, or the whole worksheet for that matter, into formula view by going to your keyboard and click on Shift tilde. The tilde is the little wiggly thing next to the 1 button at the top. That'll put the whole worksheet into formula view. So now let's move on and create our graph. This is the fun part. We get to make a graph here. Now what I've done is taken my chart that we've created, put it in another worksheet so we can see it by itself, and let's create the graph. So here's the same chart with our percentages, and let's create the graph and put it into the right perspective. So I'm going to highlight all of my data here. We'll go to the top, to the Insert tab, and we're going to make a column chart. 2D column, I'm going over to the third one there, which is a 100% stacked column to make it look like we want it to, and click on it. And there we have it. There's our chart. Now, one small problem. It's not formatted the way we want it. I want all of my action adventure in a column divided up between the ratings, drama, comedy, all of those the same. So this is actually backwards. We can fix that very easily. So I'm going to highlight the area where our legend is here and right click. When I right click, I'm going to go down here to this drop down box and click on select data. And now what I'm just going to do is switch this around, because I want this to be on the bottom of our bars, and I want the each column to have all of that same genre in it. So I'm just going to click on switch row column, and I'll close this, and there we have it. So now I have all of my action adventure films by percentages by my chart here, and then it's color coded between G, PG, PG-13, and R. So they're all all stacked, they're all percentages, and they're all just like my chart. Now we can do anything we want to with this graph. I think it's pretty cool looking, isn't it? With colors, and very easy to do. So there you have it. There is your problem 10 example in your week 2 MyStatsLab. You have many more coming over the next weeks, and I think these will be a big help to you, especially as we get deeper into the book and Excel and the formulas and the things that Excel will do for us, the things that we need to do our calculations in statistics. Great tool we have here. I hope you enjoy the screencast. They're a lot of fun for me to make, and I know from past semesters that you guys really like to have these. Maybe this week may not be as tough as others, but I think there's going to come a time when you're really going to enjoy being able to look at these, see how we create the formulas, and let Excel do a lot of work for us when we're working our problems in MyStatsLab. So there you have it. See you next time.